Good evening and welcome to 549's media coverage of Perham Yellowjacket activities. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's event. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by these fine sponsors: KLN Family Brands, Perham Health, and United Community Bank. Tonight's game is also brought to you by EOT Insurance, Hammers Construction, Horace Mann, Jack Rivers Realty, and Lake Stace Hardware. Also proud sponsors of tonight's broadcast include New Horizons Realty, Ottertail Power Company, Nye Family Sales, Hanson Plumbing Heating, and McCall Construction. Now let's head to the press box for tonight's broadcast here on the 549 Media Network.
Well, welcome in live to the Hive for the Battle of the Bees wrestling match tonight. We welcome you on an awesome Friday evening here. Lance Rock alongside of Jesse Hine is going to be doing some color, and a little special guest and flair tonight was my son Leighton is back, and kind of alma mater night. So Leighton Rock going to join us as well, and nothing better to have two former Yellowjacket wrestlers on a night like this when it doesn't matter what class you're in, it doesn't matter what section you're in, it doesn't matter when you're 10 miles down the road and you have storied programs like these two communities do. Pride's on the line. And again, it's one of those that it's not the end-all, be-all for either one, but both of you have been in these situations, and if you just want to share just a little bit of what it's like now that you're on this end of the spectrum, what it was like when you were getting ready for the action that we're going to see tonight.
Well, year to year, there's years where I remember being down 66-0 going into heavyweight against Frazee, and years where the tables were turned. And like you said, when you're older now, you take that sense of pride, and you always remember if you beat the team next door. So very historic rivalry here, and definitely a lot of memories looking back.
Yeah, just an awesome night. It brings, again, I think sometimes you think when you have these rivalries and it runs so deep, and we'll get into the history book a little bit here in our pregame show tonight as I've dug into some real trivia type items tonight, but you almost think, but I think there's such a respect from both of these communities, and I think when it boils down to it, there's going to be some yelling, there's going to be some screaming, there's going to be some cheering, but at the end of the day, both of these programs have learned to respect each other, and it goes way back in the coaching staffs, but I think it really became one of those that I saw when Clay Nagel and Rob Mosier were at the helm, and both guys, total class acts, they rooted for your kid, whether they wrestled for Frazee or they wrestled for Perham. And I know, being a dad, there was nothing better on hard-fought nights when the opposing coach came and said, "Man, your kid had it tonight." So, when all is said and done, nobody's winning a state championship tonight, but it sure is fun, and we thank United Community Bank for being part of this Battle of the Bees, as well as being part of 549 Media Network. But awesome things, and we'll go back into the history book. We're going to look at some key matches tonight. Lots of things coming on deck. We'll be back. We're gonna honor a few of our sponsors here. We have a ton of them. We just are so thankful that we're on the air and being able to do this. I'm thankful to have my voice somewhat back, thanks to Mitch Anderson and Jason Groth for really covering me this week, and I miss being here, but what an awesome job those guys do night in and night out. So I appreciate them stepping in and stepping up for me as well. So again, middle of the JV match is coming up. You're seeing some on the mat as we speak. We're going to step away for a couple minutes here. We'll be right back, and we'll do some keys to the matchup. We'll talk a little bit about history. We'll bring Leighton into the mix here, and he can share some of his thoughts. Exciting night here in the Hive.
I'm Jen Hendrickson with United Community Bank.
Jacket pride isn't something we take lightly. We support the teachers and support staff that help teach our children every day. We support local Perham athletes with our Battle of the Bees sponsorship nights. And every year we award 4 scholarships to Perham seniors. Yellowjackets are my team, and United Community Bank is my bank.
We take pride in what we send out. When you open a bag of licorice, you want that licorice to look good, you want that licorice to taste good. We work for you. We take pride in what we're making and what we are offering. It is so important to me. I do thank KLM from the bottom of my heart. They believe you and your family is important.
What sets the world's leading hospitals apart from the rest? It's their continued ability to deliver the highest quality patient care. Perham Health is honored to be a top 10 Minnesota hospital. Patients experience it, and Newsweek has recognized it. Even during the unpredictability of the pandemic, the nurses, doctors, and many others at Perham Health put their best foot forward. Thank you to everyone at Perham Health for continuing to provide the best patient care.
McCall Construction is the Lakes area full-service construction management company, offering a truly personalized experience. From dream homes to commercial spaces, McCall Construction focuses on putting you first with experienced value engineering that delivers on your vision and surpasses your expectations. Whether you already have a plan or you're just getting started, give them a call. McCall Construction will make the entire process so much easier. Call them at 218-346-7070 or check them out on Facebook.
Horseman Investments and Insurance can help you with your retirement planning goals and insurance protection needs. Kyle Van Dyke and his team provides educated retirement solutions, wealth management strategies, inheritance and legacy planning, and personalized auto, homeowners, and life insurance protection plan. We are here for your lifelong financial wellness. To set up an appointment, call Kyle Van Dyke at 218-236-6665 or email at kyle.vandyke@horseman.com.
Energy-efficient technologies have the power to connect us all, so we can save more than ever before. Evolve and make choices that are smart for you, for them, and for all of us. Because with energy-efficient technologies, we can connect to a better, smarter home.
Welcome back into the Hive here. We're finishing up some JV matches. We've got a lot of pregame stuff going on. Kind of a fun night. It's going to be senior night. We're going to honor a couple seniors. We'll talk about them tonight once we get going. There's another special kind of evening planned here. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet, so to speak. But we'll keep you in tune to that as it happens. Again, we talked about this, the longevity of this matchup, and I'm guessing the length of sport that how wrestling's been around, it's got to be one of the longest, if not the longest traditions around. And I know other places are going to argue the same thing. Going back through the years, lifetime Frazee holds the edge in the record. And it goes back to those times, Jesse, that you talked about. I think they had a long span there where they were untouchable. As a 1A school, they just were nobody could beat them. It didn't matter if you were 3A, 2A. At that time, there was only a lot of times the 2, but nobody could touch them. They hold the lifetime record, 25 wins for the Yellowjackets, 57 and 1 tie. So when you start thinking about adding that up together quick, that's a lot of matches. And that doesn't mean it's that many years, because sometimes you see 1, 2, 3 times. I know we used to go to the Rick Lee, we'd see them there. And even if you go further than that, they hold the edge. The Yellowjackets have scored 1,822 points over that time. They've scored 2,820 points, so almost 1,000 more points scored by the Frazee Hornets. That's a lot of wrestling that's happened, and a lot of good wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it's tried and true. You talk to anybody in the state of Minnesota, they're going to know who Frazee are. They're going to know who Perham is. Definitely looking back, like I said earlier, you can pick. I remember sitting on the steps of the old middle school when Apple Valley came to town just to wrestle Frazee, and Apple Valley at the time was that untouchable team in AAA, and Frazee gave them everything they wanted that night. And I could go match to match and talk about those special times, but again, so much history in the building tonight, and a lot of people who bettered the sport of wrestling still here to take in a good match, and it's just a special night. Yeah, and you go back to that. I'm almost ashamed to say that was the first wrestling match I'd ever been to in my life. I got drug along by John Kostanek. He said we have to be there. We stood on the volleyball box in underneath where the hoop would be, and I was there to see Ty Laws, and everybody was there to see Ty Laws, and again, it just drew that love of sport for me. Lo and behold, I didn't know a few years later I was coaching basketball. My son would throw the basketball slip in the garbage and lead us to the way of wrestling. So it's fitting tonight to have Leighton sitting beside me, because he's the one that turned me towards the sport of wrestling, and just being able to figure out what a cool sport this is, and the longevity and the hard work that goes in. Leighton, as we turn it over to you a little bit, just some memories that you have had as when you think Frazee Hornets and Perham Yellowjackets, what sticks out in your head?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be a part of this duel 5 times in my career, and Rob Moser would say, if you're not getting up for this one, you're not getting up for anyone. It doesn't matter. Like you say, let's throw the record books out tonight, and we're just going to see some good wrestling. Both sides, excellent coaching. Everybody tonight's going to do the fundamental things right, and it's really, I truly think it's going to come down to a coin flip. But again, lucky enough to be a part of some great duels. I've seen both sides of it too, Jesse, personally and team-wise. So I'm super excited to be here tonight.
Yeah, and that's what, when all is said and done, the medals kind of get put in a box. The trophies are kind of somewhere in the high school, but the memories that you make and the relationships that move on, I think there's just something special about the sport of wrestling. And we don't want to get too sentimental here, but it's kind of fitting on senior night, as we're going to honor Cash Burke and John Stake tonight. There's just so much that goes on, from the wrestling room to meeting other kids, and there's no place to hide. You're in hand-to-hand combat in the middle of a ring with the lights shining brightest on you, and when it's all said and done, you got to be an honorable person and shake the person's hand, come win, lose, or draw. And I think there's so much to be said about that. So building this up, maybe even a little bigger than it needs to be, but it's such a fun rivalry when you think about that many matches being done. The last couple years, guys, it's been Frazee. Last year was 29-25 victory. For those of you to recap, Derek Zitzo came out. They were behind, came up with a pin at 285 to give the Hornets that victory. And 2023, Frazee came away with a 35-30 win, despite the Yellowjackets winning the last 4 matches. They just couldn't quite get enough bonus points in there. And you talk about, we've talked about in succession, Jesse, almost every night, you were always at the end of the road. And it always seems to come down to the end of the road. We've got Leighton here too. You guys can talk about the opposite. We've talked about sometimes how important those early matches are, just that they happen an hour before that end happens. So again, from both of your guys' perspective, from wrestling early to wrestling at the end, just how you gear yourselves up, because it's two totally different things to get ready for.
Yeah, it's very unique in the sense that it's an individual sport, but yet it's a team sport as well at the same time. And I think most guys would tell you, if you're, maybe I'm wrong, Leighton, but I think most people at the lower weights, they like to start it off. They like to be fresh right out the gate. And I think I would argue that I wanted to let everybody wrestle first. And, you had your routine at 160. I used to start getting up, getting loose and bouncing around a little bit. But it's definitely different when you go out of state and you're random draw and all of a sudden the heavyweight goes first and everything's out of whack. It can be pretty peculiar, but I think most people enjoy where they come in the grand scheme of the lineup.
Yeah, I've been the lead off in this duel as well, and it is a totally different feeling. But I don't envy you, Jesse, when it comes and it's all said and done. But yeah, it's these guys got to have a game plan, especially at those low weights, and get ready to roll.
Yeah, and it's such that's the part of the sport. It's individual for 6 minutes, but team for the hour. And you're all going for the good of the cause. Finish up kind of that recap. In 2022, Perham came out 46-22. That was at Frazee. I remember being there, totally packed up, just crazy. And then I would be remiss if I didn't bring up, in 2012, our very own Jesse Hine tied the school record with a 6-second pin. And Jesse, you're going to be I know you're going to push this off and play. You got to be able to relive that a little bit in your head and tell us what happened.
Yeah, you're right. I really don't like to talk about it, but no, it happened quick. It just double leg to the back, and it happened. So
we used to spend money to go watch the double leg freight train come through, and it's one of those that is still in the record book. Boy, I would be hard-pressed. You own that with another remarkable Justin Stabler for the Yellowjackets, went on to a Big Ten career. Both of you own the 6-second mark of the record. I think it'd be, when you think about that, from the whistle blowing and the count of the shoulders on the mat, to do that in 6 seconds, pretty awesome. So lots of highlights, things that have happened here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about where the Yellowjackets are at, what's happened, what's coming up in the future, and we'll kind of set the stage for tonight's Battle of the Bees here at the Hive on your 549.
Energy-efficient technologies have the power to connect us all, so we can save more than ever before. Evolve. And make choices that are smart. For you. For them. And for all of us. Because with energy-efficient technologies, we can connect to a better, smarter home.
Yes, garbage is gross, but here at Steve's Sanitation, we are your trash experts with experience to back it up. At Steve's Sanitation, we know how to schedule your trash pickups without missing a beat, and we have been doing it for over 30 years in Perham and the Lakes area. Steve's Sanitation has been voted the best garbage service in the Lakes area since 2019. With 30 dedicated employees, we're here to take care of your trash. For more information, call us at 218-346-4834 or visit our website at stevesanitation.com.
When you're running a business, you don't have time for doubt. You need a banking partner you can trust. One who is as invested in the success of your business as you are, and has all the products and services you need under one roof. At Bremer Bank, we're here to listen and learn, because you know your business best, and we'll back you up with insightful advice and personalized solutions that help you achieve your goals. Work with Bremer Bank, because understanding is everything.
At the Perham Area Community Center, we have something for everyone. Let us help you reach your fitness goals, connect with others, or just have a little fun. We offer a state-of-the-art weight room, weight resistance and cardio machines, and inspiring spin studio. If walking is your preference, our walking track is just the thing for you. We have over 20 fitness classes offered weekly. Yoga, Zabit, Strength, and Senior Fit, those are just a few. Our aquatic center is equipped with a 6-lane lap pool, kiddie pool, and water slide. Adults can relax in the sauna and hot tub. We also offer water fitness classes and open swim for the family. Find your fit at the Pack. We'd love to have you here.
It's not necessary to build your business in Perham, Minnesota to be successful. But it sure does help. Hammers Construction, your vision, our team.
At New Horizons Realty, we're on your team. For over 25 years, we've been helping families and businesses find the perfect place to call home here in the Lakes area. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just dreaming, we've got the experience and local knowledge to guide you through every step of your real estate journey. As proud supporters of the Perham Yellowjackets, we believe in building strong teams on the mat, court, or field, and in the community. Check out our current listings at PerhamRealEstate.com or give us a call today at 218-346-7767.
Welcome back live to the Hive. We're in the last JV match, so a little extended view for here and a good one. 5-4 with a minute to go here, but we'll get back kind of to our pregame show because it can flip the script on us pretty fast with wrestling. Both teams wrestled last night, so when we got the weigh-in sheet, both of them had 2 matches. Ultimately, the Yellowjackets had a really, really good night. Went up against Pequot Lakes Pine River Bacchus, won 59-6. That 6 coming from one tough hombre. We had the opportunity to do Parker Zutter's match at the state tournament last year. I think it went like 45 minutes with blood timeouts.
World's longest nosebleed.
And he's back, and he's rated up in the top of the state, and he gave the 6 points for Pequot Lakes, but really nice showing by the Yellowjackets. Turn around, the Yellowjackets beat Alexandria 43-21. Alexandria had a forfeit in there. Alexandria looks like to be someone to be reckoned with when it comes to be tournament time. And I don't know that they're quite ready to take that stoop to the top. But what I do know is they've got some really quality wrestlers there, and they wrestle hard. And that showed last night. They took Yellowjackets. It was kind of topsy-turvy there for a while. Yellowjackets turned it on at the end to take the win against Alexandria.
Yeah, you look at Alexandria and just the school itself, they got it going on right now in football and in basketball and lots of other sports, and wrestling's no different. I mean, at any given time, matchups are key, and I'm sure they're looking ahead to the section tournament going, okay, what moves can we make to try to make this a close duel? Again, they got some studs on that team, and at any given night, you never know.
And Frazee, unfortunately, they went into a buzzsaw. They went over to Staples Motley, the same Staples Motley Cardinals that defeated the Yellowjackets 66-6 earlier on in the season. They beat Frazee 52-0. And Frazee was without a couple wrestlers last night. I think they're back tonight as Frazee takes the mat to warm up. Excuse me, still lingering signs, effects here, but again, that Staples Motley Cardinals is a reckon 2 in the state, I believe. I would have to watch Chatfield to know how they're rated ahead of them after seeing how deep they are. They also lost to another tough AA team in Becker, 46-20. So again, 2 teams coming off kind of a high night and a low night, but what I've learned from the sport of wrestling, you kind of turn the page as you get on the bus to go home.
Yeah, and especially tonight, I mean, like Leighton said earlier, throw the book away, throw the records away, it doesn't matter. Pride's on the line here, and talking with a few people around, nobody feels super good about this matchup. So it's probably going to come down to a flip at the beginning and come down to somebody winning a match they maybe shouldn't or picking up bonus points here or there. This is a section type duel right here, even though they're in different sections, and kind of the unique thing you talked earlier, Lance, about this being a rivalry tonight, but I think both Perm crowd and Frazee crowd has cheered for the opposite side down at the state tournament, no matter who's wrestling. So everybody's here for the love of the sport and looking forward to a good duel.
Well, we were talking with our counterparts over here to our right, and we all kind of had different opinions of how tonight might go, which tells you one thing: it's going to be a good duel. Secondly, we started talking about toss-up matches, or matches that might be key, and everybody started naming off a weight. And by the time we were done, I think we had 7 or 8 weights that we looked at. One team might have to win that, one team might have to lose that. Looking at the weigh-in sheets, I do believe Frazee's going to have to forfeit at some place. We kind of have our idea where that's going to happen, but it has to play out, and some of that comes down to the flip. And if you want to go over just a little bit, maybe how that importance of that flip tonight might make the difference in how this one turns out.
You know, a lot of the time when they flip at the beginning of the match, head coaches are choosing odds or evens. That decides who shows at the odd matches or the even matches, going from 1 all the way to, what are we at, 13 now?
Yeah, 13
weight classes. So that all comes down to who checks in first at the head table. That allows the person who checks in second to get the matchup they're looking for. And in some instances, you know, we saw UNC the other night where they were stacked from 189 to 215 to heavyweight, where you can't really bump in that range. But if you have some, you know, maneuverability in the middle or down low, you can often get a matchup that you're looking for, or, you know, get somebody off of a matchup that maybe you're not favorable in. But I will say, over the years, historically, Frazee's always got something up their sleeve, and they always have somebody who's not expected to go do something pretty wild for the Hornets. So hopefully the Yellowjackets are ready for any move, and again, it's just, we'll see who shows up there.
Right, and both teams coming off the Heart of the Lakes Conference. Just pulled up a graphic on there. Tegan Detloff finishes first. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody who's watched Tegan for the last multitude of years. You saw this coming, but you still have to do it. And adding Park Rapids and Staples Motley definitely threw a wrench into kind of rejuvenating the Heart of the Lakes Conference. Zyzie and Trout with second place finishes. Trout arguably has turned the corner and probably become one of the more dynamic wrestlers down low for the Yellowjackets over the last 2-3 week period. And Wegscheid and Burke with third place finishes as well for the Yellowjackets. So they also had a bunch of guys that, if I can pull up my graphics here fairly quick, finished 5th and 6th as we get going. So you're going to see they had a lot of wrestlers that finished. Again, you can arguably say it's an 8-team tournament, 8 wrestler matches, but you still have to win some really good matches to get that. So Yellowjackets had a nice day. They finished 4th as a team, Frazee 3rd. So you can look at that, and they had Peichel finish first and Osterman finishing second. So they also had some top placers as they went along there. So both teams have been like super busy in this last month. When we come back, we'll kind of tell you what the Jackets have coming up. They had some milestones. We'll also try to hit those milestones so that you can have the opportunity to hear about some of the accomplishments of some of these wrestlers. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more pregame show here on the 549.
At Nias Family Sales, our experienced mechanics are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. With 10 service bays, the service department at Nias Family Sales can work on all makes and models. Our experienced mechanics can do everything from oil changes, tire repairs, brake service, engine and transmission repair, and much more. Schedule your vehicle today. Call 218-346-5976 or visit the Nias Family Sales Service Center at 610 East Main Street in Perham.
Since 1980, more families have trusted Jack Chivers Realty than anyone else in the Lakes area. I'm Blake Olson, the owner of Jack Chivers Realty. Our dedicated agents have a deep understanding of the area.
We live here and our kids go to school here. Let us find the perfect home for you and your family, or lean on our knowledge and marketing to sell your home. Find out how Chivers delivers right here in Perham. Reach out today and start packing. JackChiversRealty.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell
and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware.
You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware,
right here in downtown Perham.
Hansen's Plumbing and Heating provides the highest quality products and services to ensure the comfort and safety of all their customers. It's what they do. Henry Hansen, later known as Hardware Hank, first opened the family hardware store in the early 1930s in Burgess, Minnesota. Today, they are proud to carry on his legacy of hard work and honesty through teamwork, fellowship, cutting-edge technology, and forward thinking. 218-346-2422 or make a visit in Perham, Burgess, or Detroit Lakes today. Hansen's Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Minnesota families for over 80 years.
Welcome back into the Hive here. Frazee kind of doing some final warm-ups. Yellowjackets up in the room. They're traditional going to walk down as they're coming through. I'm joined tonight by Jesse Hine and Leighton Rock beside me. Really, the Battle of the Bees is this is kind of the sentiment of the whole night. Is this is going to be a fun one? And again, when both of these come together, you don't look at size of school. You don't look at any of those factors. You know you're going to be in a battle tonight. And for the Yellowjackets, it doesn't end here. January 28th, they're in a triangular at Fergus Falls against Fergus Falls and OTC, Otter Tail Central. Then February 1st, they go down to an Annandale tournament. If anybody, when you go down south, you're going to be in for a brawl when you get into those. Then they return north. They go to Moorhead to wrestle Moorhead and Wilmer. Moorhead just knocked off DGF. Granted, DGF had a few out, but Moorhead is a program you just wonder when that's going to explode. They've had just such success in everything they're doing, and Wilmer's just a perennial powerhouse. And yes, there are still Carlsons wrestling, so that's about all you need to know. Then they turn to February 13th and 14th, our team sections. We're going to cover the Yellowjackets as long as they are there. We're hoping the first should be at home. High seed hosts the first 4 places. High seed hosts, so it'll be 2 rounds in that night. And then the 14th, they're going to go off-campus type situation. It does rotate in the section. We believe it's in Dilworth, Glen, and Felton, and we'll be there if the Yellowjackets are there. I already confirmed with Jason Groth, the media director, along with Jesse Hine, will be there to cover that if your Yellowjackets are wrestling for that chance to get to the ultimate prize of heading down to the XL in the state tournament. Followed by that is the 21st and 22nd, our individual sections at Park Rapids High School, as Park Rapids now back in Section 8 AA. Wow, we're already to that point. Isn't that crazy, gentlemen, that here we are, we're to that point where the Yellowjackets are talking about playoff times, and now it's no longer where do we make the moves, it's we're making the moves. So again, at this point, your wrestling stuff changes. So you guys want to comment a little bit about where you got to be at this time as you know you're heading downhill and right into the kind of the ring of fire, so to speak.
Well, I think the big thing we talked earlier when we had Bemidji and Thief River Falls in the gym right away in December, and just talking about, hey, let's see what we got. And then you get into right after Christmas where that's where you're starting to make your moves. People are getting down to weight. You're fine-tuning some of those technical things, getting in the shape you need to get to. And now it's how can I put the bow on it as we head into section time, both team and individual. How can I peak at the right time and give our school the best chance to make it to the state tournament?
Yeah, Jesse said it perfect. It's peaking at the right time. And as you both said, you want to be in fine form right now. Make sure everything that's kind of dinged up is getting taken care of, and you got your lungs under you, and we got to get ready to roll.
And nothing better as you roll into the tournament time to have things like this happen. We had 2 wrestlers hit that 50-win mark, and I know there's a lot of matches wrestled, and I know some of the old timers are going to say, hey, man, we only got to wrestle 20 a year. To get to 50 was major. These kids these days, it still takes a lot to get to 50 wins. And for Carson Zeise and Tristan Larson, we want to congratulate them. And again, Leighton, I'll turn to you a little bit. There's some sense of accomplishment, and it's just a tag board poster, but when you get to stand and hold it in front of your family and friends, what's that feeling like?
Yeah, it feels great, and I think one of the big things too is getting that put up in the room when you're making, the top 50 in the school and things like that. It's a really special club to be in.
Yeah, and we can transition to Tegan Detloff, only a sophomore, 100 wins. He's climbing up there. Both of you gentlemen, I'm honored to be here tonight with both of you. You're high up on that list of that ring of honor, so to speak, and everybody who walks into that wrestling room gets to see that. So that 100-win night is such a big thing, and to be a sophomore, a lot of things have to go well, but you also have to put your time in.
Yeah, and for Tegan's sake, he is a very, very old sophomore in the sense that he's had a lot of mat time. I mean, you look at some of these guys who are getting their 50, their 75th win, they're coming into their own here where, yes, Tegan is only a sophomore, but he's been on the mat a long time, and that you can be a veteran when you're not a senior, so I'd say that's the case for Tegan.
Right, and we're looking at seniors, and I misspoke. I did the wrong name as they're walking off. It's not John Stake; he's a junior. It's Cash Burke and Nick Peters, and both of those gentlemen have put some time in, and sometimes it always doesn't show in the 50 wins, 100 wins, but deserving. Tonight's kind of what we've been talking about here. Hopefully you can hear our announcer.
Donnie was a Frazee High School graduate, class of 1967. He loved playing football, wrestling, and his girlfriend Connie, who was a Perham graduate. After graduation, the two married, had 5 children. Throughout the years, celebrated 19 grandchildren together. Donnie was active in the community, being a member of his church, local fire department, Perham Area Community Center, and supporting his children and grandchildren in sporting events. His work-hard ethics were instilled from his life growing up on the farm, and he always made sure to be an example of that by teaching his mindset to his children and his grandchildren. He never had excuses, stayed busy, worked hard, and always had a "you can always do better" mentality. If you knew Donnie or know his family, they all had a part in the wrestling community in one way or another, whether it was as a wrestler, coach, manager, mother, father, or fan. With a moment of silence tonight, we remember Donnie Foltz in his Frazee wrestling shirt being presented at the center of the mat by his grandchildren who are currently involved in the Frazee and Perham wrestling teams. Let this be a symbol to Donnie's love and support for both the Frazee and Perham communities. No matter how this duel ended, it was always a win in Donnie's heart. Thank you.
So sorry, our lead-in was not very good. Donnie Foltz passed away. Connie passed away a little bit earlier, near and dear to all the people from Frazee and Perham, and it was a nice tribute there to honor him and all that he did. And I know personally he always met me at the door with how my boys were doing in wrestling, so I know a lot to all of you. So we're going to step away for one last little media break. We'll come back with some projected starting lineups, and we'll get right into some Yellowjacket wrestling here on the 549 Media Network.
Hilltop Lumber on Main Street Otter Tail is your #1 stop to find building supplies for residential and commercial projects. From the initial idea to final completion of your project, at Hilltop Lumber, we help plan, supply, and deliver dreams. Check out Hilltop Lumber's Marvin Showcase Center and huge supply of carpeting and floor coverings, as well as hardware and lawn care for your everyday needs. See you at Hilltop Lumber Otter Tail.
I'm Jen Hendrickson with United Community Bank.
Jacket Pride isn't something we take lightly. We support the teachers and support staff that help teach our children every day. We support local Perm athletes with our Battle of the Bees sponsorship nights. And every year we award 4 scholarships to Perm seniors. Yellowjackets are my team and United Community Bank is my bank.
It's something new every day, some different stuff to do. It's not the same monotonous thing over and over again.
Everybody works together, everybody knows everybody, you know, we all get along just well. It's just a great company to work with.
It's like a big family here. It's just everybody gets along with everybody and everybody clicks. Everybody just helps everybody out. And it's a pretty awesome job to have.
Hey, it's Tucker again, did you know? EOT Insurance Agency.
When you're running a business, you don't have time for doubt. You need a banking partner you can trust. One who is as invested in the success of your business as you are, and has all the products and services you need under one roof. At Bremer Bank, we're here to listen and learn, because you know your business best, and we'll back you up with insightful advice and personalized solutions that help you achieve your goals. Work with Bremer Bank, because understanding is everything.
McCall Construction is the Lakes area full-service construction management company, offering a truly personalized experience. From dream homes to commercial spaces, McCall Construction focuses on putting you first with experience value engineering that delivers on your vision and surpasses your expectations. Whether you already have a plan or you're just getting started, give them a call. McCall Construction will make the entire process so much easier. Call them at 218-346-7070 or check them out on Facebook.
Welcome back live into the Hive. Starting lineups going on here. Some exciting matches we're looking forward to. Can't wait to see some of this lay out as everybody's been kind of talking about a lot of different things and really excited to see what's going to happen here, man.
Yeah, it's this is the time where you start to get it going here. If you're a lightweight kid, this is your moment here. You're leaving. If you're Beckham Bunkowski, you're going to get loose. If you're one of the bigger boys on the team, they're just drinking this all in. Great environment, great crowd, great atmosphere here at the Hive.
Yeah, it's go time now, and yeah, you see Beckham heading back there, and we're ready to roll, and I think we're gonna start off hot here tonight. It's gonna be a fun duel, and I can feel the energy.
Yeah, Reller for Frazee looks like he's ranked 10th in the set. Mikowski putting together a very good first campaign for the Yellowjackets as a young 7th grader. Since the beginning of the year, one of his first matches here, he knocked off a ranked kid from Bemidji, and we know it's possible. We know Beckham's going to go out there and do some really good things for the Jackets tonight.
Yeah, Reller, a young kid too. I mean, we got a 7th and an 8th grader out there, and you love to be in these positions as those guys, and it always seems to start off like that. So just excited to see this first one.
And again, I think it's one of those that you can see this build up, and it might be one of those that an upset victory might make the difference tonight. When you're looking on paper, 8th and 7th grader, obviously Reller comes with a newly ranking. Guillotine rankings came out today. He cracks into the 10 with 22 wins. You guys know as well as I do, all wins are not created equal. So again, we're going to have to see Beckham's face some of the better competition this year. I think this is going to be a good one.
Here we go. We'll see. I didn't see who got the flip per se. It looks like Coach Vetch is registering first here. I think it's going to be one of those matches where there's a little bit of a conversation at the head table every match. Makes you think of the state tournament a little bit.
And it's just what you guys call number 10 in the state. 8th grader Ashton Reller, 22-11 on the season, against 7th grader Beckham Bunkowski for the Yellowjackets, 15-9 on the season. This is brought to you, fitting, Battle of the Bees by United Community Bank.
Yeah, look for Beckham right away. When he wrestles his best stuff here, he's confident. He's getting into his positions he wants to be in. Hopefully he comes out aggressive here right away.
Yeah, again, I think it's one of those early shot. Again, we talked about sometimes it's building up that steam of coming out of the wrestling room, being the first on the mat, and here's Beckham doing a nice job kind of stretching out. Both wrestlers kind of similar in size here, Jesse, and a lot of times that hasn't been in late, and I think Beckham's had the upper hand being a little bit longer. Both similar builds tonight.
Yeah, Reller looks like he's a good fit for a 107 pounder. He looks long, got good reach, and I'm just impressed with the early hand fighting from these young guys right now. Really getting themselves into a good position and that good tough wrestling on the edge of the mat there.
Yeah, again, we talked a lot about, we got a lot of things on the docket here as we get going. Boys, as both of these 55 seconds remaining blood timeouts tonight are going to be brought to you by Perham Health, scoreboard by Ottertail Power, wrestler of the match by Steve's Sanitation, pin for the win, our best pin tonight by Horace Mann, big move of the match by KLN, a money move, something that we might be looking, and it might be even the coaches making a move tonight. Thinking deep here, guys, by United Community Bank. And again, we'd like to thank a new sponsor that Jason Groth has brought on board here in the last couple weeks, Marco, coming to join the 549 Media Network. So thank you again to all of our sponsors for what you do and getting this on air. And again, they're kind of getting to the dark, shadowy part of the mat, but again, like all good wrestlers do, you want to get to the edge of the mat, and that's where the damage seems to happen.
Yeah, neither wrestler so far really truly committing to anything. I think both of them are feeling each other out a little bit. Minimal time here. We'll see if wrestling on the mat opens it up for anybody.
I might be the Perham homer here, but I'd had this as one of my toss-up matches. I know that Reller comes in. He hadn't been ranked up until this morning. obviously wrestling some really good competition as well. I just see what Beckham's been doing night in and night out, and it just seems like not only his skill, because that skill set's been there, confidence is what I see coming out of him night in and night out now.
Yeah, no doubt. And if, not too far from me is former coach Rob Mosier, and I can still hear him talking about, you guys better get your hands free on bottom against Frazee. They do a great job tying wrists up, working their way into arm bars. Leighton, you probably can touch on that a little bit too, but just wrestling Frazee, you got to keep your hands free, knowing what they can do from the top position.
Do we have two held there? I saw a tilt action, but there it is.
Yeah. There it is, and you're right, Jesse, and I think that comes from what I said from the beginning is both of these teams and Frazee too. It's the fundamentals, and they're gonna ride you tough no matter what. Even these young guys, they're gonna do the little things right.
And I missed it, guys. Beckham chews down, deferred to down. I didn't catch that, so that's my bad. But again, Reller looks really good on top here, and again. Back into that tilt series, and again, it's always, to me, it was where I held my breath when my boys were wrestling, because you put yourself, you expose your shoulders, but he has it so tight right now. It doesn't seem, he got one swipe but not two, so no points awarded.
Yeah, and I think a large part of tonight is going to be, what does the official allow the top wrestler to do? Is he going to let them stay parallel when they're working those wrists and working those bars, or is he going to force them to come out wide? Reller staying busy, always looking for near fall points here. It's going to let him go as long as he can.
Well, one of the things I see is when you get down to that state competition, and it changed a little bit with the scoring system change, you've got to be a good rider, and Reller looks like he has that on the docket.
Looks like he's got 3 and 4 count here for Reller, sinking in a half. This could be dangerous, but saved by the bell.
Yeah, again, Beckham was exposed shoulders there again. Reller doing a nice job. He's taking a 6-0 lead. He hops right down to the down position. He looks really fresh. And again, I don't mind eating my words. We still have 2 minutes to wrestle here, but he looks darn good.
Yeah, similar to top wrestling, I'm sure, Leighton, you were probably just going to say it, but when Frazee wrestlers are on the bottom, you got to watch that Granby roll. That is something they've taught since they were in kindergarten, and they're very good at it.
I could see it from the nosebleeds, too.
Again, so scoring hasn't been awarded yet, still in that same action. There's the score. Again, potentially dangerous with that arm being pulled in the back. 10-0 lead, so major decision. 4 points here for Frazee, kind of locked up, but 1:27 is a long time. We've seen Beckham Bunkowski score in bunches. So again, the bad part is we watched Reller's ride, and that chest-to-chest is tight.
Yeah, you just see that pressure forward from Reller right now, staying up on his toes, a lot of pressure forward. It's tough for Beckham down there to build even a base, and there he goes with that tilt again.
Yeah, he does a nice job kind of baiting him into a stand-up, taking his momentum right over, but Beckham doing a nice job fighting that, working to a couple 1 counts, but no near fall so far.
And he's really chain wrestling the way it looks, gentlemen. He kind of had that cross wrist tilt in, then he went to the kind of the ball and chain type look of the tilt. Didn't get that. Beckham fends it off, but it's that ultimate pressure that he's putting on. He's not just sitting on the shoulders. He's trying to be aggressive with the shoulders, and I think the part of that is he's looking for more than 4 points here.
Yeah, it looks like a 2 count there by the official. Good job by Beckham working his way off here. 20 seconds left in the period.
There's the 2, so now a 3. A 3 near fall in the last 15 seconds would make this a tech decision. That would be huge if you might hear the roar of the Frazee fans here, and Reller's getting aggressive right now.
Yeah, and this is where it comes down to saving a point for your team. At any moment, if the outcome's not what you want it to be, we got to maintain the best possible outcome there. So.
Right, so 0-4 on the Otter Tail Power scoreboard as 4-0 lead here for the Frazee Hornets. We're going to head into 113 pounds. Bo Bush coming out. So again, for the Yellowjackets, Bo Bush coming out, kind of a surprise for us here a little bit. A little dinged up with the knee. We weren't sure where he was going to be at. So Bo Bush does come out to wrestle for the Yellowjackets. Bo Bush is a 9th grader, 8-10 on the season. Missed it. Is it Christian Peichel?
It is Christian Peichel.
Christian Peichel, an 8th grader for Frazee, 16-15. This one brought to you by Kalen Family Brands, 4-0 on the scoreboard. And boy, was I ever impressed with Ashton Reller.
Yeah, definitely did a really nice job on top. He got to his positions and he got where he wanted to score, and he made it happen. Bo Bush here coming off a really nice win against UNC here in our last home duel. He had a big cow catcher for a big 6 points at the end of the second period and got a big pin for the Yellowjackets in their victory over UNC a couple weeks ago.
And I might tell you just how important these first ones are, Jesse. Jackson Kugler, he's a very good wrestler in his own right. Wrestled last night. Bush did not, and the decision was made here to get Bush into the lineup, making me think this is a pretty big matchup right here. And Bush with the early takedown as that hand hit the mat, 3-0 Bush.
Yeah, he was looking for a little more there, trying to roll him through, but does a smart thing there, gets his 3 points. Look for Bo to go to work on top here.
30 seconds remaining here as we go along. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Horace Mann, Otter Tail Power, Steve Sanitation, Bremer Bank, the Perham Area Community Center, Hanson's Plumbing and Heating, Nias Family Sales, and Marco, new to join the 549 Media Network. Again, just kind of Yellowjackets here, just a quick little summary. Nice job by Ashton Reller coming out, beating a very good Beckham Bunkowski. And again, now Bo Bush with 20 seconds remaining, up 3-0. And again, you're going to want to get this escape if you're Frazee in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, got to keep moving on the bottom here. Limited time, but we got Bo Bush looking for something. And a little flurry there at the end, but no points.
Boy, it's almost a shame that period had to end there. I don't know which way it was going to end up, but there was a flurry of action ready to happen. So 3-0 Bo Bush. He did a nice job riding. Peichel is in the down position now, looking for that escape or that reversal. Stands up quick on the whistle and then turns in and grabs a knee.
Yeah, really nice action off the whistle there by Peichel. Kind of stand up to a switch, kept working it here for a 2-point reversal.
Again, you can see that same kind of ride coming. He's getting a little high. Bo Bush doing a nice job continuing to drive. Sometimes you get a little stagnant. This is a really nice job by Bo Bush, keeping those feet active and pushing into Peichel.
He's got to get that right arm out here. He's kind of got that shoulder trapped between the legs, and there it comes.
There we go.
Looking for like a little near side cradle maybe even there to get some back points, and again flattens out. Minute 13 seconds remaining. Again, you can feel it heat up now in this gymnasium. The crowd's starting to get into it. You know that every point is so crucial right now.
Yeah, and earlier in the first period you saw Bo go to that arm bar. Peichel with a kind of a roll sit-up type counter there. If Bo gets in that bar series again, look for him to settle down, take his time, make sure it's tight, and to prevent any sort of counter from that position.
Not usually one to put the cart before the horse here, but as 40 seconds remain, I believe it's going to be Bush's option. You wonder if he's going to take top. He's rode really hard here. You don't know with that knee getting underneath. Peichel's a longer wrestler. I don't know. It's going to be one of those interesting. I'm glad I'm not coaching wrestling because I don't think I could do all the options and know exactly what to do like they do.
Looked like a stalling on Bush there on top. We talked a little bit about that parallel ride. Again, Peichel with some great action from the bottom here, but Bo doing a nice job stopping. He's got to settle in here, working back down to the mat. Now he's into a double. See if he can put a half in here for some back points. Bo might have an opportunity here.
8 seconds remaining.
Looks like a 1 count.
And he flattened back out. So great action by both teams. The thing that's scary about Peichel out of that, gentlemen, is he's pretty roly-poly when he gets into certain situations, and if you get caught with the scoring the way it is now, you can flip the script in a hurry.
I don't mind the decision here by Bo to go down. He did a good job coming off the bottom before. Wasn't really in any danger. Doesn't mean you can let your guard down, though, because any moment your arm goes back too far and you could be in a world of hurt.
Well, and you'd have to imagine at some point if Peichel's not making, you're going to have to give up the escape to get into your offense again if you can't make a move. But here we go, looking for that cradle, just like I thought.
Too, yeah. He looks like he's got it, but Bo fighting hands here. Should come out the back here, yeah. Sorry to talk over you there, Leighton.
No, I think I cut in there, but great work by Bo there. That's how you get back into these matches if you're Peichel, and Bo fending that off, but he's got some work to do on bottom here.
Hands got to come forward. I remember Coach Mosier teaching us, get your palms up. Palms up naturally brings your elbows tighter to your body, and anything you can do to prevent your arms from going behind your back is huge in this position. So looks like Peichel's baiting him into grabbing that to try to drape over, but he's going for kind of a power half here on the edge. This could be a little dangerous if Bo's not careful. Looks like they're both out here.
And if the official didn't know it, the crowd was going to let them know it. If there was a stall there, again, you got to be careful if you're Bush here. It looks like the escape's going to be given.
Bo's got to be a little careful if he does have a stall like you talked about. You know, now with the new takedown, a takedown 3 points and a stalling point here is tied the match. So look for Bo to get inside position here, not be too aggressive, but just expect a shot like that and continue to fend it off here in the last 30 seconds.
It looks like Peichel's going for fireworks here. If you're Bo, you got to stay on your offense, and you got to look for one and not get into that upper body.
Well, now with the second stall call, it's 6-3, so he doesn't have to, and he gets a takedown. Now he's got Bush in a bad spot, and he's getting back points, and this is a bad turn of events for the Yellowjackets.
Yeah, he was definitely, you get 2 or 3 there.
I thought 2, and there's 10 seconds remaining, so Bush has to get out or get a reversal. And at some point, if you get in harm's way at Peichel, you just release and get out of there because you do not have a stall call. Huge turn of events for the Frazee Hornets.
Yeah, definitely. Peichel was looking for that big move since the beginning of the match, and he stayed persistent and went after it at the right time and got it done for the Hornets.
And again, I agree with you, Leighton. I think he was trying, being down 4, he was going for that headlock series. And when he got it changed the whole demeanor with that escape. Dresden Wakescheid coming out for the Yellowjackets, 18-13 on the season. Dres has kind of been a little bit of an equalizer here when things aren't going exactly the way the Yellowjackets want, and he's right on his offense here with the takedown.
Yeah, you've really seen Dres come out with a different mindset here, probably since the rumble on the red. We've noticed a big difference in him just being aggressive and letting it fly, and he's pretty dynamic when he comes out with that momentum.
Caleb Ratz on the mat for the Hornets. Ratz is a 7th grader with a 13-11 record. Again, Dresden Wakescheid, a veteran, a savvy veteran, up 6-2, and definitely playing the takedown game right now.
Yeah, I know Dres knows what his team needs out of him right now, and he's going to do everything in his power to get it done here and get the Jackets on the board and get them heading in the right direction. Good deep shot by Dres. He does a really nice job from underneath, working his way into a takedown. Hooks that leg. Looks like he has an opportunity at a Turk here. Working to an inside cradle. Dres a long 121-pounder too. That length presents some big-time problems for opponents.
Yeah, Dres is looking good right now, and he knows what we got to do to right the ship here, and he's on a mission, and that's what these duels are about too. Is you got to know your role and you got to know what your team needs at the right time.
Rat's doing a nice job, in kind of a helpless position here, but definitely neutralizing Dres's opportunity, but again, Drez is going to reset here with 30 seconds left in the period, hopefully to get some points as we head toward the end of the first.
20 seconds remaining on your Otter Tail Power scoreboard. Again, we'd like to thank United Community Bank, KLN Family Brands, Perham Health, EOT Insurance, McCall Construction, Hammers Construction, Jack Shivers Realty, Lakes Ace Hardware, New Horizons Realty, and Hilltop Lumber for making this event possible. And it's been a fun one so far. And again, it looked like the scoreboard was going to be maybe 4-3 in favor of the Hornets, and that was a huge turn of events. And those were the toss-up matches we talked about earlier, ladies and gentlemen. And that's one of about 7 that we saw coming. And again, if they're all 7 are like that, you're going to get your money's worth tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, both, you can tell from the beginning, both fan bases really into it. They know what's at stake here. They know just as well as anybody else does what's expected of their team as they head toward the section tournament here and opportunity to head down to the state tournament.
Dresden doing a good job on top here, and Rat's fighting hard. Looks like he's got that cradle locked up, and he rolls through.
Really nice job there. See if he can settle in here. Looks tight from up here. There it is.
Again, fall by Dresden Wakescheid. Huge fall at the right time for the Yellowjackets to kind of stem that tide back on their favor. And that fall is brought to you by Horace Mann Insurance and Investments.
At 127 pounds, Frazee, Shimmerhorn, and for Perham, Trout.
127-pound match coming up. Peyton Trout for the Yellowjackets, one wrestler that we highlighted earlier as really coming into his own and having a really nice second half of the season. He's an 8th grader, 15-10 record. He is taking on a junior, Gabe Shimmerhorn. Shimmerhorn, no strange name to the Frazee wrestling room. He's 11th grader, 12-14 on the season. And so again, one of them we might have had checked on the box of this is an important one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say for Trout, his biggest thing is he's been able to keep it close the first 2 periods. And then he always wrestles his 3rd period the best, and that's given him an opportunity in several matches. Kind of a couple exchanges here by both wrestlers, both in on deep double legs, both working upper body, and after all that, no points.
I thought they both had each other dead to rights there, and still 0-0 on our scoreboard.
Yeah, just looking at a throw on the edge there off the double leg, both coaches are saying, hey, let's get below the knee. Let's not make anything crazy happen yet. So good opportunities by all wrestlers, and I got a hunch the scoreboard's going to be lighting up soon.
Speaking of those coaching staffs, the Hornets are coached by Travis Nagel, Clay Nagel, Marty Aho, Mike Hams, Steve Wachowski, and Mike Miller. Again, in the Yellowjackets coaching staff led by Dave Vetch, Kyle Trout, Kevin Felt, Aaron Lawrence, John Hoffner, and Bill Stotterl. So here we got some tight rolling.
This is interesting.
They got back points.
Yeah, they gave Trout the takedown. Looked like he had kind of a reach over cradle out of a front headlock. Kind of unorthodox here. I don't know if Shimmerhorn's in trouble here, but now he looks like he's
now he is.
And there's a fall. Wow, what a move by Trout there. Kind of a big question mark of what's going on. Right into a nice cross-face cradle, and the Jackets needed that.
At 133 pounds for Frazee, and for Perham, Garrett.
So Jareth Garrett out on the mat for the Yellowjackets, 133 pounds, 3-4 on the season. Liam Ham coming out for the Frazee Hornets. Liam Ham, a 10th grader, 20-14 on the season. Again, this one would most likely, I think you have to favor the Hornets, but we've seen Garrett wrestle a lot here, Jesse. He's not afraid of some high-flying moves.
No, and in my mind, I was smiling when he was coming out here thinking about the opportunities he had against United North Central in his debut, and he went out there and cut it loose, ended up getting caught on his back later on in the match, but you got to respect a guy who can let it fly at any moment, and that's always in the back of your mind.
Yeah, just go out there and give it 6 minutes, and there, just like you said, Jesse, we're rolling.
Oh, he waved it off.
He did, and you see the veteranness of Ham never stopped. He never stopped his feet, got back, no points awarded, 1:11 seconds remaining here on your Otter Tail Power scoreboard. And again, that would have been a huge takedown. I think you would have heard the Yellow Jacket faithful erupt. This would be a big one. Any bonus points, and that's really what it's boiled down to through these 4 matches, guys. It's been bonus points. It's been the pinfalls by the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Ham with a nice high crotch to a double. Garrett did a good job. He might have held on a hair too long, but he got off his back there for minimal damage.
And you got to look away from that now, and we're in a bad spot here.
And there's that slap of the mat, another fall. This time for the Frazee Hornets. Puts them back up on the lead. And I think we're in for a good one here, guys. The way this is going, we can hardly keep up with it right now.
Yeah, I think Garrett did a pretty nice job there of, throwing it all out there. At the end of the day, Ham settled in, got to some good technique, buried a half, and not many guys can come out of that.
Brody Wacker coming on the mat for the Yellow Jackets, 9th grader, 12-15 on the season. And this is Cash Osterman. Cash Osterman just picked up his 75th win. He is 24-11 on the season. One of those names we've heard for a long time. Made his way up through, I think, as a 7th grader from the 107-pound weight class all the way up now. So another one where I think the Frazee Hornets really feel like this is bonus point opportunity for them. Do not count out Brody Wacker, though, here. He is one tough kid, and he's going to go out with his best shot.
Yeah, we talked this time of the year to be starting to peak and starting to get into your end of the season form. And I would say last match, Brody Wacker wrestled his best match of the year. He put 3 periods together in a dominant win and arguably a toss-up match against United North Central, and just kind of came into his own. Again, tough task tonight, but don't count Wacker out. He'll battle just till the end.
Right, and this is kind of that roll here from Ham to Osterman to Bailey Peichel. That really is the money-making type part of the order for the Frazee Hornets. And the Yellow Jackets just have to try to hold suit. And there's a throw. We're going to get the takedown for 3. Do not see any back points as they both slid off the mat. 51 seconds remaining here, and wow, this has been fun so far. The Battle of the Bees is living up. Somebody has poked the Hornets' nest, so to speak, and we're full throttle going in to the 139-pound match that is being brought to you today by McCall Construction, and I missed that because it was so fast and furious. So we'll talk about some of the others sponsors here coming up shortly.
Again, on top here, Osterman going right to work. Wacker's got to do a nice job of keeping his hands forward and free. Keep working to his feet, because if we let those Frazee wrestlers go to work on top, we're going to have sore shoulders tomorrow.
Dresden Wakescheid's fall was brought to you not only by the Horace Mann Insurance and Investments fall, puts him into that category of the fall of the match, but also by Nias Family Sales. Trout follows up with a fall. That was brought to you by Hanson's Plumbing Heating. And then we just got done with Liam Ham with a fall, making it 13-12 in favor of the Frazee Hornets with no time left here in the first period, and a 3-0 lead for Cash Osterman over Brody Wacker.
Yeah, Bro doing a good job here, finishing out the period on the bottom. Look for him to put a ride together here, stop Osterman's first move, and see if he can get something going.
Osterman up right away, looking really fundamentally solid here. Brody's got a tall task, but he's gonna hold his own. He's got a good build for a 39-pounder here.
I'd say the biggest difference so far that I've seen is off the bottom. All the Frazee wrestlers are flying off the bottom, and that's made a world of difference. But Wacker in on a nice shot there. He's going full. He's got a takedown there right on the edge with 1 foot in. Wacker with a little upper body of his own there. I love it.
It's a great transition from that low single, and honestly, great mat awareness from the freshman with that toe drag on the outside to pick up the 3.
He wants to go back on his feet. I like it.
Well, I think he caught Cash Osterman a little bit off guard by keeping his feet going and almost just, we like to see that on the football field, keeping his feet moving and just taking him to the edge of the mat. And I have a feeling now it's going to be no holds barred here now, guys, with 1 minute and 14 seconds. Second period, still 5-3 in favor of Cash Osterman. So another nice shot there by a low shot, but met nicely by Osterman, and he gets his takedown.
Yeah, Osterman ready for that attempt by Wacker, but I like that Wacker's being aggressive. Like I was saying before, I think a big difference so far is Frazee's ability to get off the bottom on the whistle. You notice they're not hanging out down there, and vice versa on the top. They're stopping our first move and getting to their offense on top. So if I'm Coach Vetch, I'm saying, hey, fellas, we got to explode. We got to get going off the bottom, if we don't want to get tilted and armbarred.
Got to keep moving on the bottom here if you're Brody. You said it, Jesse, and that's really where all the bad things start happening is if you got your chest on the mat, you're not in a good place. So really got to work. But again, I'll say it, Frazee is just, they're riding tough tonight, and really a lot of high pressure, working in those bars and those tilts, and it's tough down there.
2 seconds remaining here, period number 2. So Brody's Whackers weathered the storm here, guys, and again, I almost think he's wrestling a really smart match. He's done enough to go to that low single. He's kept himself out of harm's way. I'm not saying that's the recipe for success for him, because he's probably not going to get that low shot again, but he's limiting the offense by Cash Osterman right now, and it's a regular decision at this point.
Yeah, I really like where the attempt Brody just took there on the mat is close to the edge, where if he's getting in trouble, he can work his way to the edge of the mat. Brody doesn't need anything big here. I mean, at this moment, we got to think big picture. He's doing a good job. Osterman kind of caught that one. Really nice attempt going underneath, but Osterman maybe a hair stronger in that position. Looks, oh, this is trouble.
And that's just what we talked about. He had limited himself out of that position, just got caught, and you just knew that Cash Osterman was waiting for his opportunity, and there it was. And so this has been a battle of falls, brought to you by the Horace Mann Insurance and Investment Agency, as now it's 19-12 in favor of the Hornets from Frazee.
Yeah, Osterman knew what he wanted, knew where he wanted to get to, and he was very patient that match, so you got to give him credit.
Ike Adams on the mat, coming back from injury, 1-1 on the season. We kind of thought maybe we'd see him at 152 pounds tonight. That's why the graphics the way it is. He came out at 145. I think this is a move by the Yellowjackets to try to limit bonus points and maybe sneak out a win to set them up for future. So Ike Adams coming out against Bailey Peichel. Peichel, a senior, 28-12 on the season. Again, don't let 1-1 fool you. Ike Adams is a veteran wrestler here, and unless I missed something here, I believe this is Bailey Peichel, or did I miss it?
I think it's Malone.
Malone, they did do a switch around. Okay,
yep.
So again, there's that cat and mouse game being played by both teams, and I should have done a better job of listening. So again, Malone out there and Ike Adams on his offense right now.
Yeah, really nice low kind of ankle pick there by Ike. Committed to it. Malone back to his feet here. Look for Ike to attack below the knee. We've been waiting a while for Ike to get out here, and kind of hindered by a couple injuries this year, but again, nobody's going to work harder to try to get back out there for the Jackets than Ike.
So Hunter Malone's a 9th grader, 7-6 on the season, and again, a great build for a freshman. We've seen some really good-looking athletes tonight from both clubs, and again, both teams, neither one backing down. I haven't seen yet to this match, and about the time I knock on that door, it'll open, of people fleeing off the mat. They've been wrestling towards the center. Even on the edge, they're working hard. Ike Adams, 15 seconds remaining, second takedown of the period.
Yeah, Ike found his opening there. Again, this time a double. Very little things a defender can do when you're below the knee with both heels cupped. Ike ran his feet for the takedown. Look for him to get his offense going here on top.
Again, I don't want to talk too much. 10 seconds escape happened there, 6-1. Again, poke in the eye. And just as I was going to say, we haven't had any timeouts. A blood timeout by Perham Health. It is not really a blood timeout. I think it was just an accidental poke in the eye. But we want to thank Perham Health for sponsoring blood timeouts. Ottertail Power for the scoreboard. The wrestler of the match coming up. We're going to have a tough choice tonight by Steve Sanitation. We got a lot of pins to talk about by Horace Mann, and a big move and a money move by KLN and United Community Bank. So a lot of good things to come up as our post game comes up. I'm glad there's 3 of us tonight, because the third voice might break a tiebreaker on who we think should win those awards.
Well, I think I've seen 6 money moves tonight, so I think it is going to be definitely a tough decision. Great movement by both of these guys, and what a go behind for Malone, and we got a little spark here.
Yeah, he came out. I know Coach Vetch was trying to get Ike going, saying, hey, let's go get some bonus points here, but Malone with a great answer and a really nice go behind there, very physical.
And super quick. That was probably what got me with most, was the quick, and here Ike turns the tide. He's working on his own reversal.
Very nice job by Ike there.
Good switch right off the whistle, and that's what you kind of want to see from everybody, is that first move on bottom is so important, and we're back in on another
nice
shot.
High crotch there by Ike, but kind of an unorthodox defense by Malone. I'm not sure. He must be pretty darn strong for a freshman.
Both of these guys going full throttle, must be burning 91 octane tonight, because it's crazy to watch this happening. 11-6 on your score clock, and I'm going to go back to that. It doesn't seem to matter tonight whether you're the favored wrestler or you're the underdog, so to speak. Nobody's backing down in this one, and that's where you got to give credit to both coaching staffs. They've got these kids ready to go at it tonight.
Yeah, Ike seems to be finding another gear here. Just some good technique. Good, he pops up off his hip there, but just kind of going to different takedowns, single, double, high crotch, going through the arsenal. Look for him to keep running it up if he can.
Yeah, Ike kind of putting on a clinic here, and he's letting him back up again here. And you got to think he's smelling a little blood in the water here, and we're thinking bonus points.
And again, we've had a couple times tonight where we've thought that before, and all of a sudden the tide turns on us. I go back to the Bull Bush match, stall call there, and that's really one of the first. We've had a few, but again, I think it comes down to some of that shot defense, Jesse, that you're talking about. And if Ike can stay on his offensive game, he should have the advantage here.
Yeah, Ike in a really good opportunity there on a double. I think everything kept going except for his feet. If he can keep running his feet there, I think Malone tips over, and that's another 3-point takedown. But keep those feet going. That's kind of what I've talked about all year with some of these younger guys. 20
seconds remain here on the clock. And again, I talked to Ike a little bit as he's in a nice low double there, and nice job. He told me getting legs back underneath him, it's not easy when you've been out for a while. So
no amount of running in the world or weightlifting will get you ready for what you're going to endure in these 6 minutes. And you can't get in shape for wrestling without wrestling. So he's right about that.
I know I would last not 6 minutes, but probably 6 seconds about now in this point of my career.
Wouldn't we all?
I like that from. I think I'm going to deem this a new move from Ike as almost like a double leg ankle pick is what I think we're seeing out there right now.
Maybe we'll just call it the Ike.
It'd be easier to
say. Kind of got a rig, yeah.
Ike's going neutral here again, and let's give some credit to Malone here. He's he's not backing down from anything. He's keeping those feet moving and weathering the storm.
There it is.
Same thing. He kind of sneaky on that. He almost baited him into that, which is a wily veteran move for a ninth grader. It's 17-12, guys, and we were talking bonus points, maybe thinking pin. Now we're hoping for a decision here. And again, this is where Frazee has been their best tonight. And Leighton, you've said it multiple times, and you can go over it again. They are riding like a state tournament team right now. They're just putting the saddle on, and they're going to work right now.
For sure, and you see the freshman on, and there comes a stall call, but you see that pressure on top there is just everything is on their toes, and they're moving forward. But a nice escape there by Ike, nonetheless.
And it was a great move by Ike there, and I'm not going to take that away. But that was a smart move on the Frazee's part, where he could have given up 2 instead of 1. He bailed out of that position, got a fresh start. It's still only 6 points. So if he can somehow bait into that same thing, you think Ike's going to say, you fooled me once, shame on me, you're not going to fool me again here. But again, 50 seconds remain on your Otter Tail Power scoreboard, and there he goes back into the Ike.
I don't know why. I was going to say the ref's been kind of waiting to award that 3 points, but, give Ike credit for going back to work, tipping your cap to the young guy for getting a couple takedowns, but this is where that 3-point takedown makes a difference too. I mean, one takedown here and there by Malone has definitely made the road to bonus points much more difficult for Ike compared to having a 2-point takedown.
Even if this stays at a 4, I'm guessing if you're Travis Nagel and his staff, you're thinking, boy, this is a win for us. I'm thinking the Yellowjackets kind of put Ike out there saying, you go get this, young man. And again, it's not that he hasn't wrestled well. You just gotta kind of tip your cap to Hunter Malone right here, as this kid's put together, and he's gonna do some damage in the years coming for the Frazee Hornets.
I think he's got some pretty good practice partners as we've seen from previous weights and what we're going to see from weights to come here. So can't beat that good competition in the room, and it shows that you're battle tested when you're out here.
10 seconds remaining.
Ike looking to finish the period on top. Again, good workman-like victory for Ike. Nonetheless, bonus points for his team. Fun to see him back out here competing after a long road of injury, and just good for Ike.
Right, it's a nice stopper to come back at this point of the season. It's like gaining a really good wrestler, and he's not going to be satisfied. That's what you love about Ike Adams, and you know that his best is yet to come.
And kind of as you expected. I mean, we're still in a 3-point duel here. We've seen a lot of fireworks tonight.
Okay, so this is Peichel coming out. Peichel, a senior, 28-12 against Jonathan Lafreniere for the Yellowjackets. Again, Peichel's going right to it, and it's not going to probably give us a lot of time. Here at 152 pounds, brought to you by Jack Shivers Realty, into a tight cradle, got the knee under, does it perfectly, and there's your pin. It didn't last long, and again, that's what you expect out of Bailey Peichel. Again, I don't know if the separation's quite as much on the scoreboard as what Frazee wanted at this point, but this is a good one.
Yeah, now I think the Yellowjackets are kind of chomping at the bit here to get to 160, and this is where we have a chance to put some points on the board, and we know Frazee's got some hammers up top too, so we got to make some hay here.
Yeah, and as we were talking about before, you kind of ran through. Frazee's got a good run there in those middleweights, and iron always sharpens iron. So I'm looking forward to seeing these top weights too. I mean, it's going to be a hectic end to the duel.
Carson Zizey on the mat for the Yellowjackets. As you saw on the screen there, Zizey just picked up his 50th win, 10th grader, 20-10 on the season. And I believe this is Blake Sonnenberg, if I'm correct. He's a 9th grader, 22-13, and that Sonnenberg name is synonymous with Frazee Wrestling. And again, Sonnenberg comes in after a shot by Frazee, creates his own offense, and Sonnenberg's one long hombre here, and going to probably, that Sonnenberg name, there's been a lot of cradles attested to that name, but we'll see what his offense is going to be.
Yeah, chip off the old block, hard crossface, tying up the legs. I mean, I'm sure somebody in the crowd over there is smiling ear to ear if they're wearing green. Frazee, really good shot to start it. I think kind of hesitated on the finish a little bit. Look for him to get loose here and try to get back up to his feet.
Yeah, again, this is going to be one of those matches. This is one of those toss-ups that I had circled. Not that I don't think Carson can do it. I just think this is an important one. If you give this one up at the Yellowjackets, now you really have to make some hay. We know that Frazee's going to be open at some point here, so they're giving up 6. So if you think of it that way, it's really 25-22 right now. Again, it might change some of the decisions of what you're going to do here.
Yeah, I continue to be impressed with this Frazee team, whether they're 8th graders or seniors. Man, they are going to work on top. And I know there's no riding time in high school, but there's some energy being exerted from the bottom position here, trying to maintain your base against, I mean, match in and match out, we've seen it. It's just heavy hips, driving forward, rolling wrist, cross-facing, just keeping you off balance and ending the period on top.
End of period number 1. Sonnenberg takes that takedown, is the only point scored, so 3-0. Frazee's going both up, and again, he had a good shot. Just has to finish. And again, Sonnenberg, for a freshman, pretty impressive young man right here.
Yeah, if you're Frazee, you got to get after one here. Even in hitting about 1:30 on the clock, you got to start working into your offense. Find something.
There's
and
a good
just
shot.
like that,
Finish.
Really good finish. And when you keep those legs moving, like you said, Jesse, that was kind of what deterred the first one. But when you keep those legs moving, there's nothing stopping that. So let's look for Frazee to get a ride going for himself.
Yeah, I think that's a good adjustment by Frazee. He, Lance and I have been talking about feet since the very beginning duel this year, and it's amazing how that, we talk about feet off the bottom, feet on top. Every position, you got to keep your feet moving and keep wrestling. Frazee in on another shot here.
Boys, I hope the difference tonight isn't the ability to ride like we're seeing, because right now it's all Hornets. You saw Frazee get a nice takedown. Sonnenberg works his way out. Nice switch there by Frazee.
Yeah, really nice peek out. He baited him reaching over, kind of a glorified duck under there, but good job getting the 3-point takedown. We're staying on our feet.
And again, he has had success. Sonnenberg has scored off of his offense, but again, Sonnenberg's been ready to meet the challenge. We've got 45 seconds left. The next takedown might be a big one. 6-5 right now in favor of Frazee. Both have been really offensive wrestlers up to this point. I like that they're wrestling center of the mat.
Yeah, Sonnenberg must have a really good grip, because you see Frazee trying to pull away, and I know Frazee's a very strong cat himself, and just again, a couple of young guys duking it out. It's just good wrestling.
Yeah, Frazee keeps working on that elbow control, and then he has that wrist on the far side, which is stopping every one of Frazee's attempts. And you see kind of that dive in from Frazee, just trying to create some sort of action to open up his offense.
And I'm worried a little bit about that, Leighton, as you've seen the Hornets have capitalized on that. When we go for a long shot, Frazee just about turned the table there. That's what they've done to us, is they've baited us into being frustrated, I think, to take a shot that might be a little long or a little from distance, and then they snap around and get those 2 points. We saw that again and again from Hunter Malone. So again, we're all tied up now at 6-6, and I wouldn't expect this one to be any other way right here at 160 pounds. This one brought to you by Lakes Ace Hardware.
Yeah, up to this point, I'd say third periods have been Frazee's best periods historically in his matches up to this point, but he's got to continue to move forward here, pick his openings. It seems like Sonnenberg's content and just standing there and waiting for him to shoot, but if Frazee can move his head around a little bit, side to side, in and out, get him to step, kind of get him off of his statue there, he'll have a better chance at some of those takedowns.
And if I'm Frazee here, I'm looking to shoot him off the mat. I think you gotta set the tone here a little bit of I want to get to my offense. But Sonnenberg, you're right, Jesse. That grip must be pretty tough because he's blocking pretty much everything right now.
Yeah, well, you can see Coach Vetch saying, hey, in and out, give him some fakes, get him to react, just anything to get him going here.
Well, my years of watching wrestling, which I don't have the knowledge you two do, it's not the number of shots you take, it's the quality shots you take. We really haven't seen Sonnenberg take one. You wonder if he's setting something up, and Zaze's kind of been relentless, and there we go, offense off of defense, and that's kind of been a recipe for success for the Hornets tonight.
Yeah, I think if you're Frazee, you don't have to get too, you don't have to go for it, but there, like you talked about, Sonnenberg hasn't taken a shot all night, but Frazee doing a really good job with his hips. Keep those hips down, start working that grip, pop that elbow up, see if you can continue to get 2 points here, 3 points here on the.
And Sonnenberg's doing a good job crawling into it. He's got to get in there. And again, if nothing else, maybe looking for a stalemate. Again, ultimate great job by Frazee meeting that attempt, and it does turn into a stalemate. 20 seconds remaining. Could it be our first overtime match?
Yeah, really good hips there by Frazee.
I like the patience there by Frazee. And now here's where you got to go. You got to get a re-attack.
Oh, yeah.
And he does.
Big move. He's got under 10 seconds here. See if he can settle in.
1 second. And again, not going to get the fall, but again, kind of turning the page and taking that offense from his defense, and it's a nice move there by Frazee, and a huge win there by the Yellowjackets.
Yeah, and I like Frazee. You're putting two moves together, and that's kind of what I wanted to see from him earlier in the match was, I mean, you're going high crotch and then you're sweeping something, and when you get him moving like that, that's where you get to your offense.
And here we got the move.
Right, and this is, again, Tristan Larson right in on a double leg takedown. Larson 19-8, a junior. Get the graphic off the board here. They're moving so fast on me here. But again, this is one I think was going to be an open spot. And there's it looks like Raymond Sanchez in, a 1-4 record, 11th grader, coming out against Tristan Larson. Larson, you saw on the graphic, 19-8, got his 50th win. This one is brought to you by Hammers Construction.
Nice little low shot there, but great defense.
Yeah, Tristan, a big move guy historically here. He does some of his best work below the knee. He's so quick and he's so strong. Look for him to just get in on some of those shots. You can see with one hand pulling that leg in.
Oh, great step through.
Yeah, great step through there. He's got him in big time trouble here.
And we got time here, so he's just got to settle in, and great fighting off the back there, though.
So we're holding on to this. I'm trying to figure. I'm just doing some research over here, guys, trying to figure out. I think there's still going to be an open weight, so I would imagine the open weight is going to go to Tegan Detloff tonight, and then it's going to be bump up, and so it's going to go right down to the wire here when we get to 215. As I could see, Tanner Moll getting bumped up to 215, and then ultimately coming back at
nice inside cradle
285.
slapped on here. Just under 30 seconds here. Look for Tristan to settle in.
He's in a tough spot here. He's kind of got his forearm stuck underneath that left shoulder.
20 seconds remaining. So again, both wrestlers kind of seem content maybe just to stay here. Try to better your position if you're Larson.
We got to be a little careful here. If we got to try to get 6, we're going to be up 14-1. Here as the period comes to a close, it doesn't look like we're close to a fall by the referee's reaction.
So again, what you're saying, Jesse, is the move has to get into a pin move. And now with the rule change, it's no longer if you're even in a pin move. If there's any hesitation, so a takedown here ultimately is going to save a bonus point for the Frazee Hornets.
Yeah, I'm thinking feet to back, right up like Tristan Larson is. Looks like we're off the mat there. Sanchez with some good hips with the double overs on the edge there, but you know, you got to go for it if you're Tristan Larson. You got a lot of time. You haven't been put in any trouble situations yet. You got to try to make it happen.
Yeah, yeah, just what you said, Jesse. If you're Tristan here, you got to dig into the goodie bag and start seeing if we can throw somebody around. But great defense there and a nice attack.
Ooh, here we go. This is going to get interesting because I don't know if we'll quite get into a fall situation here. No matter what happens, if he comes off his back here, the match is over.
And I think this is going to ultimately save Frazee 1 point. And there it is. And it's not a great match by Larson. Just one of those things that you might look back and go, you know, that's the 1 point. So here we are, 24-25, 25-24 in favor of the Hornets. We'll see what happens coming up here. So not the way Tegan Detloff's going to want to pick up his 30th win of the year, but sometimes that just happens. We didn't know if it would happen there or bump up. So now it's going to ride on the shoulders of Logan Gook and Cash Burke tonight, I believe, and this is what you paid for. Tegan's victory is brought to you by the Perham Area Community Center. Logan Gook out on the mat. We're at the 215-pound matchup, 5-point differential here as you're looking. Logan Gook 15-13, a junior on the season, taking on a junior Tanner Moe, I believe, 23-13 on the season. This is really going to get interesting here depending on what happens in this one. This one is brought to you by Bremer Bank.
Yeah, you know, if you're Logan, you don't have to get out of your ordinary, normal comfort zone here. You just go wrestle your match, put the team score aside right now, and just give yourself the best opportunity at getting the victory here.
We talked about this earlier, the three of us, two other gentlemen up here, a different style wrestlers here. Moe's beef might be the difference here, and he's got it pretty tight, but they're off the side of the mat.
Yeah, Moe's even in a tough spot here. He's trying to drag him back in with that near side cradle, but just tough to get leverage or any type of pull back in.
Well, you're fully extended and you're dragging your toes like you're a wide receiver in the NFL, and you just can't get any leverage. And a good job by Gook just kind of posting himself off the mat, getting somewhat of a restart even though you're in the down position.
Yeah, look for Gook to fire off the bottom here. It's a big lad on top. We got to get moving.
Good initial stand up there by Gook, but got to start putting two moves together. And I think I sound like the broken record tonight. Whether we're in the neutral position, bottom, whatever it is, it's just we got to continue to work. And there's that tough ride by Frazee again, and you're up on your toes and you're driving in on the shoulders and you're rolling wrists, and that's just a tough spot to be if you're Logan Gook right now.
Well, a lot of pressure and a very strong young man on the top with the ride, and that ride has been the difference in the whole night. 8 seconds remaining on an Otter Tail Power scoreboard, and again, the Yellowjackets are up 30-25, and there's a hush over the crowd right now. You're going down to the two weights, and if we're looking into the future, which you never want to go too far, we're looking at Cash Burke, a senior, on senior night, coming out with a 5-6 record, taking on the 10th ranked wrestler in the state of Minnesota, also a senior, Cade Nagel, at 24-10. So this is a build-up, and it just shows how big a match this one is as the reversal happens right away, 5-0 Moe.
Yeah, Logan went for kind of a catch cradle there. Good opportunity, just maybe a little overcommitted to it a little bit, but now we got to go to work on bottom.
And again, this is, you guys have both, you know it better than I do. To me, it's like getting a rebound in basketball. It's all determination as being a good rider. You gotta really dedicate your effort to it. You gotta get your feet moving. You gotta be in good position and just keep ultimate pressure on those shoulders. And I can't imagine 6 minutes of trying to get someone the size of you, if not bigger, off of your back.
Yeah, or go ahead, Lee.
Looks like Mo is working for some sort of a tilt combination here. He's got that cross wrist. For a big guy, that's pretty impressive if that's what you're looking for right now. And we got a stall call.
Yeah, that's a good call. I was just going to make a comment about that. You know, original stall call on Gook on the bottom for being on his belly, but, you know, Mo hasn't, you know, really come off of the parallel or come off the midline enough in order to deem that he's working for near fall.
Well, on the parallel ride, let's face it, there's no way to get out of there. And here the cradle is hooked up. It looks like Gook doing a good job of posting. Now off to the side is Mo, and he's trying hard to tilt him. One thing we've known about that Gook name, they're hard to turn. I've seen shoulders and arms and limbs go in every direction, but here we go.
Oh, there it is. We get a little circus act there from Gook.
And again, he had to force and then right back in. Oh, and he gets...
There's nothing here, though. There's nothing on the edge. Good job popping off your hip there.
3 seconds remaining. I think both wrestlers just gave up on that, saying, let's just get a breath here. We're in for a barn burner heading in to period number 3. And what could be the match, guys? I'm not taking anything away from wrestlers coming in here, but if the Yellowjackets lose this one, it really puts, I think, Frazee in a really good spot and puts a lot of pressure on the 285-pound. You don't know anything about that, do you, Jesse?
Not a clue. Not a clue. No, this is going to be a good period here. If I'm Logan, I'm starting to push the pace a little bit. I'm not going to get reckless, but I got to get to where I think I can score, and because you're going to need either takedown to back points, or you're going to need a couple of them here. So,
and the problem now, Jesse and Leighton, I think, is with a 3-point takedown, if you get taken down to your back, now it's not 3 points you're giving up, it's 4 team points. So you got to temper that aggressiveness with also some patience if you're Gook, because you don't want to give up a big move here.
Yeah, it looks like Gook's kind of hanging that overhook, see if he's setting up something here, whether it be a fireman's carry or even bigger. But Mo doing a really nice job lowering his level and keeping head position.
Yeah, and good for Gook to break out of that. It's tough to score with that. He kind of had the wrong side head position, and there it is.
But not quite enough.
And this could go from bad to worse here, but nice job by Gook. We talked about those Gook shoulders, and again, he's got that trait too. He can get out of bad spots, but there it is, Jesse. That's exactly what I was talking about. Now it's 12-1. Now it's a 4-point, and it's a 1-point differential, and not that means the world. But again, you can't give up any more points here, because if it's tied going in, it's a lot of pressure on 285 for the Yellowjackets.
Yeah, we still got 30 seconds here. Logan can make a flurry happen here if he can get to his base and get some of his wrists free. But again, Mo doing a nice job of, tying him up, tying the wrists up, keeping pressure on. It's just a really, again, good job by Frazee on top tonight.
Again, the Yellowjackets probably do have some options. We're down to 8 seconds. There's the escape. Again, I think Mo was trying to give up 1, not 2 or 3 or 4. And there's a 12-2 major decision brought to you by Bremer Bank in favor of Tanner Mo, which brings our brings our Otter Tail Power scoreboard to 30-29 in favor of the Yellowjackets. So Cash Burke comes out for the Yellowjackets, a senior night, 5-6 on the season against. Bumped up from 215, and I know that Cash Burke isn't your full 285-pounder either. Number 10 ranked just today, number 10 ranked by the Guillotine in 1A, senior Caden Nagel, 24-10 on the season. This one's brought to you by Hilltop Lumber, and the guys next to us, Jesse, are sounding pretty smart now. They said it was going to go down to the wire, and here we are. The wire is really thin, and again, Cash Burke on senior night, you always want this opportunity, and you know Cash is going to be the first one to accept it.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's as cliche as it gets. You never know what happens at heavyweight.
Yep.
I mean, one trip, one fall, one big move, it could end in a hurry, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who's ranked, who's not. But again, obviously, if you're Frazee, you feel pretty good sending one of your tried and true studs out there. And if you're Perm, you know Cash is opportunistic, and he's going to go give it everything he's got.
It's been like the 4th of July tonight, so I'm expecting some more fireworks here.
Yeah, and again, those fireworks have been brought to you by Horace Mann Insurance and Investments, and we thank them for sponsoring all those pit and deep, low shot there. And again, not something you're accustomed to seeing at this weight class. Again, remember, they're both technically probably 215-pounders. Cash, again, nice job in there. He's trying to get his leg free.
He's still got that ankle hook.
Oh, no.
Boy, Cash scooting like crazy, just got caught on that. And there's the fall, and you can hear the crowd. Again, that brings your scoreboard to 35-30 in favor of the Frazee Hornets, and we thought it would go down like this. We talked about matchups. Again, you got to give the Hornets credit. That's even with giving up 6 points in the style they probably don't want to. You never want to have an open weight. Sometimes you're forced because of injury. Sometimes it's because of illness. But I don't know. As we head into break and we'll come back, we've got lots of things to cover. The Steve Sanitation Wrestler of the match, the greatest pin by Horace Mann, the big move by KLN, the money move by United Community Bank, along with a lot of other things. I'm going to take a breath here, guys, and let you kind of, now that the dust settled just for a second, just give me a few thoughts on what you saw here tonight.
Well, I think first off, I think for the Hornets, your Coach Nagel's probably saying, hey, we're doing a good job on top. You know, our technique, I thought Frazee's technique tonight overall, top to bottom, was very, very crisp. I thought they exploded off the bottom. And again, we talked about it all night. Their riding ability, I believe, was the difference tonight.
Yeah, I think it just boils down to some fundamental wrestling. And I couldn't agree more with everything that Jesse had said. It's, you know, guys were moving. You saw that pressure on top, and you really suck the oxygen out of the gym there for a little bit if you're on that Perham side. And I think they just kept it rolling, and in a great duel. I'm so glad that I could be a part of it. And when the dust settled, Frazee they looked mean.
They looked really good. Both squads have nothing to hang their heads on tonight, and again, it's what you expect. We talked about the long-lived history. This will be another one we're talking about years down the line. Cade Nagel gets to put his name in as someone who pinned to win at the end of the match. We kind of recapped some of those things earlier on. So great night of wrestling. We're not done yet. I'm going to set these two young men over here to my right as they're going to try to figure out some of these things as we go in to thank our sponsors. Again, none of this can happen without them, and we tried to honor them throughout the night. But again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for their dedication to 549 Media Network.
What sets the world's leading hospitals apart from the rest? It's their continued ability to deliver the highest quality patient care. Perham Health is honored to be a top 10 Minnesota hospital. Patients experience it, and Newsweek has recognized it. Even during the unpredictability of the pandemic, the nurses, doctors, and many others at Perham Health put their best foot forward. Thank you to everyone at Perham Health for continuing to provide the best patient care.
I'm Jen Hendrickson with United Community Bank.
Jacket pride isn't something we take lightly. We support the teachers and support staff that help teach our children every day. We support local Perm athletes with our Battle of the Bees sponsorship nights. And every year we award 4 scholarships to Perm seniors. Yellowjackets are my team, and United Community Bank is my bank.
We take pride in what we send out. When you open a bag of licorice, you want that licorice to look good, you want that licorice to taste good. We work for you. We take pride in what we're making and what we are offering. It is so important to me. I do thank KLM from the bottom of my heart that they believe you and your family is important.
McCall Construction is the Lakes area full-service construction management company, offering a truly personalized experience. From dream homes to commercial spaces, McCall Construction focuses on putting you first with experienced value engineering that delivers on your vision and surpasses your expectations. Whether you already have a plan or you're just getting started, give them a call. McCall Construction will make the entire process so much easier. Call them at 218-346-7070 or check them out on Facebook.
Hey, it's Tucker again. Did you know? DOT Insurance Agency.
Well, we're back live in the Hive. We couldn't flip the camera around fast enough. We're joined by 3 Perham wrestlers tonight. And again, I'm just going to say right off the air, I probably would have been one as a high school student. I'd have said, there's no way I'm coming up after a loss. It tells you the type of honor and pride the Yellowjackets and Coach Dave Vetch and his staff are doing that these guys join us tonight. So we're going to keep it short and sweet with them. But our first guy up here is Dresden Wegscheid. And Dresden, personally, I don't know that everybody knows your story. And again, we're not going to get into the depths of it.
Yep.
But you have had injury after injury after injury.
Yeah, for sure.
To watch you turn the page right now, to wrestle so confident, just let us know how that feels night in and night out when you go to the mat.
I mean, it feels great. It just had my team around me cheering me on. So I just, I just got to give it all to my team for helping me out all through the season when I was injured and stuff. So back when I'm healthy. So it's been a blast to be with this team and be with my community to help me.
And then I'm going to ask you one of probably the most basic questions you can ask a wrestler, and you don't have to give away any trade secrets. You could lie. It could be like your fishing lake you don't want to give away. What's your go-to move? If things are going well, what are the Yellowjackets fans going to see out of you?
Oh, I'm just going to work in a takedown, I'd say a single, and then just work on top of butcher crossface cradle.
Yep, and again, it's been fun to watch your success.
Thank you.
And it's coming quick here where we're going to hit tournament time. So we wish you nothing but the best. I'm going to have you turn it over to your partner here. Thank you for coming up and joining us. We're going to turn it now over to Mr. Tegan Detloff. And Tegan, first of all, the couple things. There's a lot of banners here that I could put up in your name. Number one, you're rated 3rd in the state of Minnesota right now. You picked up your 100th win. I know you as a person, and I want others to know, what's the most important thing right now for Yellowjacket Wrestling to you?
I think we just need to get better. We have a great team this year. I think we can make it to state, and we just always there for each other, and that's why I like Perm Wrestling the most.
And I would have been disappointed if I would have heard anything different, because that's the young man we've known you to be, that all of those other honors are really great, but team comes first. And again, on a hard night like tonight, I know that all three of you guys are up here for a reason. You're leaders on the team. What do you say now going into the next thing? What is your role, or do your actions speak when you get back in the room tomorrow?
Yeah, I think Monday we got to get back in the room and we got to work on some things. We were a little hesitant on our feet tonight, but we just need to work on a couple things. We have a great team, and we're always here for each other, and we push each other every day.
And I'll ask you that same question till we switch over to your teammate. What's your go-to move? I've watched you since you've been knee-high, but yet it seems like it changes year to year. So what would be your go-to, or what should people watch when they watch you wrestle?
Last year I was kind of more of a single guy, but this year I've kind of gotten into the low stuff, like low doubles, low singles. It just feels right for me, and it keeps me out of danger of any of those throws, and it's been my bread and butter this year.
That's awesome, and it's been super fun to watch you wrestle, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck coming up. Thank you, and we'll pass off to one last, and Jesse, if you have any questions, but we're bringing up Carson Zeise here, who, Carson, I have to be honest with you, I'll get your bannership up here too as we get going, but I've watched your confidence grow this year, and it's not always, and all three of you probably would say the same thing. I know you all three are very capable and have tons of ability. What's that like when you just look so confident when you get out on the mat right now? And I think that confidence spills out to, it doesn't matter where you're at, if it's the opening buzzer or there's 4 seconds left in the match, you have that confident look in your eyes right now.
Yeah, I just try to outwork my opponent, third period, really turn it up, keep my foot on the gas pedal the whole match. Just outwork my opponent. That's one of my biggest things. Just keep that foot on the gas pedal. Just keep accelerating until you outwork your opponent and beat him in the third.
Yeah, I'd say all three of you really, your pace this year has been something that I've really appreciated, and I think the crowd appreciates it too. And with going to a new scoring system, have you guys as a team or individually, have you looked at changing your strategy because of the point difference and scoring more points, or is this just kind of how you guys like to wrestle?
Well, especially with the higher points, we definitely try to go get those extra bonus points when we can, really capitalize on those points. Easy tech falls. You can get tech falls in the first period now, no problem. So,
see, we can always say back in the day we had to work for tech falls.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're far from done, but yet the end is near. And we want to wish you nothing but the best of luck. We thank you for coming up tonight. Again, your honor and pride of coming out on a night where it didn't quite fall the way you wanted it to fall tonight just speaks volumes of who you are. And 549 Media and Jesse and myself and Leighton wish you nothing but the best of luck, and go get them from this point forward, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, gentlemen.
Well, we're going to step away for one last little look from our sponsors. We'll come back and we'll do all of the finishing touches to what we need to do to put a wrap up on this broadcast and bringing you.
What sets the world's leading hospitals apart from the rest? It's their continued ability to deliver the highest quality patient care. Perham Health is honored to be a top 10 Minnesota hospital. Patients experience it, and Newsweek has recognized it. Even during the unpredictability of the pandemic, the nurses, doctors, and many others at Perham Health put their best foot forward. Thank you to everyone at Perham Health for continuing to provide the best patient care.
McCall Construction is the Lakes area full-service construction management company, offering a truly personalized experience. From dream homes to commercial spaces, McCall Construction focuses on putting you first with experienced value engineering that delivers on your vision and surpasses your expectations. Whether you already have a plan or you're just getting started, give them a call. McCall Construction will make the entire process so much easier. Call them at 218-346-7070 or check them out on Facebook.
At the Perham Area Community Center, we have something for everyone. Let us help you reach your fitness goals, connect with others, or just have a little fun. We offer a state-of-the-art weight room, weight resistance and cardio machines, and inspiring spin studio. If walking is your preference, our walking track is just the thing for you. We have over 20 fitness classes offered weekly. Yoga, Zabit, Strength, and Senior Fit, those are just a few. Our aquatic center is equipped with a 6-lane lap pool, kiddie pool, and water slide. Adults can relax in the sauna and hot tub. We also offer water fitness classes and open swim for the family. Find your fit at the Pack. We'd love to have you here.
Well, welcome back live into the Hive. Again, we want to thank our sponsors. They're rolling through the screen right now. We've got a few things that we need to take care of. We're going to kind of work at a back to front pace here. We'd like to thank the 3 wrestlers that came up here. Again, nights like tonight are not easy nights to step in front stage, and they handled themselves remarkably, and I think that speaks volumes for Coach Vetch and his staff of how these kids handle those situations and what they're doing. So let's get to the matter at hand. Our money move of the match, brought to you by United Community Bank on the Battle of the Bees night. We're going to give that to...
We're going to go Cade Nagel tonight. I know he wasn't wearing the black and gold, but senior going out and sealing the deal on a big duel for your team on a night where we get to honor his Grandpa Donnie, and I'm sure Grandpa Donnie was smiling tonight, knowing that, obviously he probably wouldn't have liked that he had all the attention, but he deserves it, and Cade deserves it tonight, getting the big pin to get the victory for the Hornets.
That is so true. And then we're going to go to the big move of the match, brought to you by KLN, and we're going to go with Carson Zeise, who is one of our guys that came up to interview. Just a huge turnabout tonight to be able to kind of snatch that victory away. And again, at a time where the Yellowjackets, I think, really needed that. If it wouldn't have happened there, it might have turned that tide and we wouldn't have went to 285. So nice job there. Again, KLN sponsoring that one for Carson Zeise. We're going to turn to the pin of the match, brought to you by Horace Mann Investments and Insurance.
Yeah, the pin for the win, we're going to go with Peyton Trout at 127. He kind of righted the ship there. We had Drez, but then the big pin coming from him, and we really needed that. Just kind of a funk roll for him, and that's our pin of the match.
Right, and then it leaves one last thing. The wrestler of the match, Steve Sanitation, brings that to you, and it was one of the 3 guys we got to interview, and we're really honored to bring that to Dresden Wegscheid tonight. And Dresden picks up his 19th win on the season. And again, it's been awesome. We talked a little bit about Dresden's road. He's had multiple surgeries, and to just see him come back and not only to defeat his opponent, but defeat that mental onset of being injured. And all of us and anybody who's been in sports knows what that's like. Sometimes you're not wrestling your opponent, you're wrestling yourself. And Dresden's doing a nice job turning that page, and now he's becoming one of those hammers at the lower level for the Yellowjackets, guys. And I don't know if you want to add to that or not, but that's kind of the way I've seen it here in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, you got to give Drez credit. I mean, we've seen it firsthand for the last couple of years where, many kids, when they get hurt, you don't see them. They're not in here, but that wasn't the case for Drez. He's up in the weight room, oftentimes in a walking boot, on a scooter, different things like that. He's in the weight room doing what he can, always around the guys. He's definitely a good leader for this Yellowjacket team.
Yeah, and again, I think that leads us to tonight. The only thing we can tell you again is on the Otter Tail Power scoreboard, did not fall the way of the Yellowjackets tonight. It wasn't because of effort or anything of the like. They fall tonight 35-30 at the hands of the Frazee Hornets. And again, tonight was all about two towns wrestling for some pride, but also in the remembrance of a really, really great family. And again, it goes no further than the Foltz, Rooney's, Nagels. They're all tied together in this. And again, we just sent our heartfelt thanks out to them, and the Yellowjackets did a nice job tonight honoring Donnie Foltz, and we know what a night like tonight would have meant to him. And again, we talked about it early. We're going to end with it late. That's what it's all about, because sooner or later, all the trophies get put away, all the medals disappear, the ribbons are gone, but the memories remain. And tonight, these guys made memories, and people are going to be talking about, did you see that? Did you get to see that? we were blessed to be able to bring it to you tonight. So great wrestling match, more to come. We got lots of things coming up here on the 549 Media Network. Thank you for joining us. Without you, I guess we'd be just three guys up here talking, which we'd probably do anyways. But again, I'd like to hats off to Jesse Hine for the knowledge he brings, Leighton Rock for coming to join us all the way from Bismarck, North Dakota, giving us some insight of what it like to be a Yellow Jacket. I'm Lance Rock. Have a blessed night and a great weekend, and we'll see you next week on the 549 Media Network.
Thank you for tuning in to tonight's 549 Media production of Perham Yellowjacket activities. Tonight's broadcast was proudly brought to you by KLN Family Brands, Perham Health, and United Community Bank. Tonight's game was also brought to you by EOT Insurance, Hammers Construction, Horace Mann, Jack Chivers Realty, and Lakes Ace Hardware. Tonight's broadcast was also brought to you by these proud sponsors: New Horizons Realty, Nye Family Sales, Otter Tail Power Company, McCall Construction, and Hanson's Plumbing and Heating. Once again, thank you for tuning in to tonight's game on the 549 Media Network.